Wow, yeah, Biden's poll numbers being in the toilet is not really a surprise to anybody. So I'm going to go over those numbers. But also, I'm going to react to a video that I did last year that talks about the Democrats' strategy of what to do because they know their ideas are horrible and what to do about it. And it's interesting to see it come to fruition. So let's go over that video. We'll talk about that and much more. And we're going to start right now. Hello, I'm Kyle and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about this article from Outkick. It's entitled, All-Time Joe. New polling data shows Biden's approval rating is still on a fast decline. I mean, come on, how much more can this thing go? It's really shocking to see how poorly this guy is doing so quickly in his so-called administration. Because here, Joe Biden's near one-year track record is amounting to one of the most regrettable campaigns in U.S. history. Coming off President Trump's 4 years in office were glorious, Democrats planned a sounder U.S. society under Joe. It has been put to practice, and the American people are giving less than favorable reviews on the results. In short, people don't like the stuff they're dishing out. They want what Trump put out. Simple as that. We'll take some mean tweets any day over what we're seeing now. But again, I did a video last year in May of last year. It was how woke whites are causing Hispanics and others to move to the Republican Party. And in that, there's a section talk about how the demographics of this country are moving more and more to the right. Scholars and political scientists were warning, saying, hey, this is going to be a problem. We need to do something. However, our ideas are horrible. They suck. We can't do them on policy, so we must find another way. And so I'm going to go over that snippet real quickly here. And then we're going to talk about some things that are happening right now in Congress, if you understand this voting thing that's going on right now, to federalize state elections and putting them underneath the White House or underneath the federal government, which is an oversight, which is totally outside of the grounds of what the Constitution framed, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. A little bit further here, because according to the polling data provided by Q-Poll, Biden is now at 33% approval rating among Americans, 33% approval, a new low that plunges past Trump's all-time low in that same time period of 37%. And by the way, Q-Polling is notoriously liberal and leftist. They always oversample Democrats by huge margins, 10 points at a minimum. So you can give Trump a bump there, anywhere from 5 at a conservative measure, all the way up to around 15%. So, or 10%, I would say, probably more fair. And that would give this an even worse outlook for Biden, considering his own polling has him so low. That's the point. The Q poll stated that the 33% mark with a 3-year drop since the last polling cycle in November. So only, 3 months ago? He was up 36%, now he's 33%. So he's just, trend is just like that thumbnail you saw when you clicked on this video. As Americans' faltering confidence in Biden has appeared on all sides of the political discourse. So we look at the internals of this poll, we see he is at 34% for the economy to 57% disapproval, 35% for foreign policy against 54% disapproval, and for the COOF, 39% at a 55% disapproval. Every single one of these internals that are tracked here have disapproval well over 50%. That is atrocious. And so, we can go in this article some more if you like, but key thing here is, it says here that independents joined the vote buoyed on choppy waters, totaling a 26% approval rating on Biden per the Q poll's numbers. That's crazy. Republicans continue to provide the strongest resistance, but additional polling results demonstrate Biden is losing significant ground among young voters. That is a huge problem for them, along with blacks, Hispanics, so forth. A blow to the White House's social media team, and we mentioned before, independents. It goes on and on about inflation, finds opponents across the political spectrum. The White House strategy to soothe the nation must still face full ramifications of their spending packages as the menace of a weakened US dollar looms, appearing anything but transitory. So let me get off of that for a second here. So let's get into this video that I did last year in May. It's entitled How Woke Whites Are Turning Blacks and Hispanics into Republican Voters. And I'm going to do a quick snippet here and stop it. It's about, I guess, about 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long. And then I'm going to comment over what I did a year ago. That way it'll come into focus. I think it's very, very interesting. Let's kick this thing off here.
Cities and institutions are out of step with a large portion of the electorate.
Republican pollster, Whit Ayers.
When white liberal Democrats start talking about defunding the police, the Green New Deal, and promoting policies that can be described as socialistic, they repel a lot of Hispanic voters. In other words,
people who are around population centers, high population of blacks, high population of Hispanics, they don't want to defund the police. They want to keep this thing safe. They want to keep this thing within the realms of reality. They don't believe in the idea that having less police is going to make them safer. No, so that's going to push them further and further to the party that's going to be for the police because they want peace and safety like everybody else.
Most Hispanics, like most African Americans, are not ideological liberals.
Stanford University political scientist. So that voiceover is a quote from a political scholar, and that's what this is. It's a series of political scholars giving quotes about what's going on with the nature of politics going forward with policies of the Democrats being pushed across America. Bruce Kane.
Democrats set themselves up for losses if they do not pay attention to the realities of public opinion.
So much for the oft-repeated. So again, Democrats set themselves up for losses if they don't take in consideration public opinion. Keep going. Leftist mantra about how demography is destiny and the supposedly enduring nature of the Democratic coalition. Sure solution for the left: rig the system. Looking ahead to next year's midterms elections to Congress, in which the president's party traditionally loses seats, Shore worries that ideological polarization will lead to an electoral bloodbath for the left. In his view, those historic trends, coupled with the structurally conservative nature of Congress, one where Republican voters are distributed more efficiently than Democratic voters, who are largely concentrated in urban areas, mean the Democrats have very grim chances in the next several elections. Okay, now that's the situation there. So that's the political reality. Okay, so everything being equal, if you don't see what went down in 2020, if you know what I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Can't mention it here. Everything being equal, right? Everything being fair, there should be no situation where Democrats can maintain and keep power. Here's this guy here. This guy, I think his name is Shore. He's a political scientist or whatever he is. He's a columnist. He's supposed to be some kind of genius on this whole thing. Here's what he says. What does Shore think Democrats should do about this looming catastrophe? Rather than modernizing their policies, Shore thinks the left should use the current Congress to tilt the playing field permanently in its direction by requiring red states to redraw their congressional districts in a more pro-Democrat manner and admitting new states that will increase the Democratic votes in the Senate. Since the maps in the House... So it has nothing to do with policy. It has nothing to do with changing people's hearts and minds based on the idea that your ideas are better. No, it's rigging the system. That's what they're saying right here. Representatives are so biased against us, if we don't pass a redistricting reform, our chances of keeping the House is very low. And then the Senate is more biased against us than the House. So it's very important that we add as many states as we can. Currently, if we have an exceptionally good midterm, the most likely outcome is that we lose 1 or 2 Senate seats. And then going into 2024, we will have something like 7 or 8 Democrats who are in states that are more Republican than the country overall. Basically, we have the small window right now to pass redistricting reform and create states. If we don't use this window, we will almost certainly lose control of the federal government and not be in a position to pass laws again, potentially for a decade. And so there you have it. That's what's going on right now. And just look at what's happening right now in Congress. Look what they're trying to do. It's because their ideas are horrible. They can't get it across to people. And now people are seeing it in action, what this theoretical talk about Marxism and socialism and all this Green New Deal, all this crap that they were doing, during the election cycle. And now people are seeing it in practice and want nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. So I'm going to leave this right here. I left a lot of stuff on the table. Again, I'm going to do a video on this, on the gate. Check it out. Go there. It's a free sign up, and I'll cover this in much greater detail and have more freedom to say what I want to say. But I just want to get you thinking about this, and just to remind everybody what's happening and how we have to push back on anything dealing with federal control over our elections. What do you think about this? What do you think about this video? What do you think about the fact that the Democrats can't win elections on ideas? And what do you think about the idea that they are going to try and rig the system? Duh. That's kind of a rhetorical question. Anyway, comment below and let me know. I'd be curious to know what you think. And also, if you like what we do in this channel, we take pop culture and politics and filter to you in a conservative manner, please check out some more videos that we have picked out for you right